everyone. Webb Wilder, last of the full-grown men here at Riverside Revival for WMOT Roots Radio. And we're so happy to be here today as it is National Public Radio Music Day, which we deliberately tied in with our fall fund drive. We are listener-powered, and we're asking for your support. And we think that maybe perhaps by having it the same week as National Public Radio Music Day, it helps further illustrate how we incorporate the artists, the music, the community, both geographical and metaphysical. I say that because now we have these beautiful actual studios at Riverside Revival in East Nashville. So it's really cool. We're asking that you go to WMOT.org and click the donate button or dial 615-898-2800. Now, having said all that, because we want to and we're thrilled to have her anytime, and because it's National Public Radio Music Day, I'm here with the great artist, Rosie Flores.
Hey, how's it going, Webb Wilder? My favorite DJ, y'all.
Oh, man, that's so nice of you to say. It's been a while.
We've been on the air back and forth for years together.
Back in the satellite radio days for me at the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you'll be there.
I will be there on Sunday.
Yeah, on
2:30 to 4.
In the big room, the CMA Theater.
Is that right?
It's very nice.
Oh, I'm excited.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's going to be a little bit of a story about my life and a lot of pictures. They had me send like 50 or 60 pictures.
Gosh.
Of, different phases of my life and my youth. And so I guess I'm just going to kind of tell my story of, how long I've been doing this and how I got to where I am now, which was I just won an NEA award.
Congratulations. Yes, folks. What that means is she's a National Heritage Fellow for 2024.
Thank you. Yes, it's pretty exciting.
A cultural distinction.
Still on cloud nine.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your life story, we'll get into a lot of that. Not that we're going to get into minutia about, the bearskin rug when you're 2 photographs or anything like that. But, you began life in San Antonio, and at 11 moved to L.A.
That's
and
right.
In the course of your subsequent life, you've lived in Austin and Nashville, and now you're back in Austin, have been for quite a while.
Now, can I make one correction? Mm-hmm. And I love L.A., and I really...
Oh, San Diego.
But it was, my dad did work at the post office in San Diego.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I could get my rock and roll shoes and my driving on, then I moved to L.A.
Yeah, and played the Troubadour and the Palomino, and wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
I played a bunch of cool venues and kind of got my start there and met all kinds of great other artists that helped me, people like John Prine and Emmylou Harris, Al Bonetta, Elvin Bishop. I got really lucky meeting other artists that would see me play or open for them, and then they all wanted to help me.
And that was in the days when really the embryonic days of the scene with the Blasters and X and Dwight and Jim Lauderdale and you and all you folks were out there. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun days.
And now you're represented in the Western Edge exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame, along with those folks.
Yeah, I'm really proud to be in there.
I would be too. We're proud of you for being in there.
Finally made it into the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Recognition is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And, people, friends will constantly be sending me texts with their pictures standing next to my window. And
great.
We're here, we're so proud of you. And it's a kind of a fun thing.
Legitimization.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
So, as an artist, what I've experienced is that, anywhere you go, they want to know if you have new music. Do you have new music? You don't have to.
I do, sweetheart. I have a new album in the works, which has new music on it and some covers. Like I did Susanna Clark's I'll Be Your San Antonio Rose.
Oh, I love that, yeah.
But I did it in a waltz instead of a 2-beat. And then I've written some new songs, and the last 4 were produced by Ed Stasium, wonderful producer who worked with Ramones. And I'm really crazy about those songs.
That's exciting. So you're in the midst of recording the new album now, really, right?
We're just getting ready to master.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, you're almost there, yeah.
We're almost there, yeah. We're looking for the right label, and we're talking to some people, and
Great.
hope to get that out early in the year. And I've also, a lot of people don't know about this unless you live in Austin. I have a jazz group called the Blue Moon Jazz Quartet.
Yes,
oh, you
and
have
you're
a
doing
note on
4
that.
dates in November.
Yeah, we play
Above the Continental Club, is that where it is?
well, it's kind of over a bit above it's upstairs of the Continental Club, but it's actually another room over.
Okay, what, next door?
Yeah, so in between the door of the Continental Club's a tattoo parlor, and then on the corner you go up the stairs, and it's a Continental Gallery.
And your main role is you're known as Chick with a Pick because you're quite a guitarist, but you always sing. But your main role in that is as vocalist, right?
Just vocalist, because I don't know how to play jazz guitar. I can't do all
But some
that.
of your earliest influences are Peggy Lee and Julie London and folks like that.
They
Ella
are
Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald, and well, I grew up in that era where my parents were listening to all that stuff.
Sure.
You know, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr. You know, that's what was on the TV when I was a little girl, with black and white TV, and it was all those jazz singers singing the American Songbook. You know,
Yeah.
really. And so that was the first music I fell in love with. And when I was 8 years old, 7 years old, my dad brought the tape recorder out on the living room table or the kitchen table, wherever he could set it up, and started recording us. And we would get the hit parade, and the lyrics would be in front of us, and he'd go, okay, 1, 2,
Wow.
3, go. And we would
Recording at
just
an early age. yeah.
Recording a cappella, no background
Great.
guitars or anything.
Is there a recording project tied to the Blue Moon Jazz Quartet or just the live dates?
Yep, we're in mastering mode on that one too.
Oh, 2 in the works.
Yeah, we have 2 in the works.
You are
so-
multi-genre, and we already knew that, of course. Rosie, will you play a song for us? Tell us what it is first, though.
I thought I would do this, one of the songs that's on the new album, a song I wrote called Just Another Fool.
Great.
I get the feeling that you're far away when I finally talk to you, baby. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Well, you could have stayed. I'll wait all night for you. I want everything to be right for me and you. And I hear stories that you found someone new. I had to take what they were saying and put my faith in you. And I won't ask questions, just tell me what rings true. Oh, I want everything to be right for me and you. But say it isn't true. Tell me you're not leaving. I don't know what I'll do without you here by me. Say it isn't true. Say it isn't true that the woman singing this song is just another fool. Oh, yeah. And I hear stories that you found someone new. I had to take what they were saying and put my faith in you. And I won't ask questions, just tell me what rings true. Oh, I want everything to be right for me and you. But say it isn't true, yeah. Tell me you're not leaving. food.
All right, great. That's Rosie Flores here with me, Webb Wilder, at Riverside Revival in Nashville, Tennessee, in the WMOT new satellite studios in East Nashville. And of course, that's one of the songs from one of her 2 forthcoming albums.
And I have to admit that I messed up the second verse, but that's okay. You can hear it better on the record.
No, I get it. A great artist flawed.
Yeah, it's an artist flaw.
And lest I forget, we are in the midst. In the midst seems to be the cliche I get back to. We're having our Fall Fund Drive. And we're asking people to help us because we're listener supported.
Please,
Bringing
yes.
you music like the great Rosie Flores, who's with me today. You can go to WMOT.org and click the donate button. You can dial 615-898-2800. That's 615-898-2800. Rosie.
Yeah.
I have benefited from the rare, wonderful stations and channels in public radio and in Americana radio. What is your experience and how has that helped you?
Well, I've probably gotten more airplay on NPR than regular radio.
Sure.
And certainly satellite radio, Sirius radio. It's all been really great for me. I've always been kind of on the edge. I haven't been mainstream my whole life. I've always been on the western edge, I guess. It's a good title for that. And I've just appreciated a lot of NPR. I listen to podcasts. I watch NPR television more than any other channel. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of into it. I'm an NPR girl.
I know you are.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is I can totally relate to not fitting into this category or that, or wanting to. You don't want to because you want to incorporate all these different influences from what I gather.
Well, I want to fit into everything that'll take me.
Mm-hmm. Your own way, on your own terms.
I just want to do what I love. I just want to sing what I love singing and hope that somebody will find a niche for me and a little place. It seems to be working out that way so far, rather than trying to change my music to fit into something else. I just do what comes from the heart and what feels, right for me. And kind of like the way Buddy Holly did when he was coming out.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that movie where they were trying to change him. And I had a little bit of that kind of experience when I came to Nashville where, they wanted me to record other kind of songs. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to record the songs that I wrote and play guitar on my songs. And that's what I do best, And so I don't know. I'm just doing what I love. You know why? Because it makes me happy.
Well, there you go. And it makes us happy because that's the kind of artists we bring you. A lot of variety in the artists we bring our listeners, but, they all have integrity and they're all incorporating some sort of combination of roots influences, or even if it's one, but usually it's more than one. And of course, that was what was great about a singer-songwriter combo leader like Buddy Holly. We could talk all day about Buddy Holly. And how old was he when he checked out?
23?
Unbelievable.
I mean, that was a very sad day.
Very sad day, but it's phenomenal how much music he left us.
I know.
So speaking of Texas, you started life in Texas. Mm-hmm. You went elsewhere, but you came back to Texas. You've got a soft spot for Texas. It's home.
I do have a soft spot. I have a lot of relatives there in San Antonio still. A lot of them came to Washington to see me get the NEA award.
Fantastic.
My dad moved us to San Diego, so that immediate family is in San Diego still. Mm-hmm. So I've got both places. I have a couple cousins live in Austin, so I do have family in that town for me.
Yeah.
And I've got tons of friends here in Nashville, too.
I know you do.
Because I lived here for 7 years, so I made a lot of dear friends. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to come back here to say hello. And because I miss my friends, It's a good place to be, and there's great music, and I'm going to be performing tomorrow at the Eastside Bowl in the 58 room, and
Oh, great. Yeah.
yeah, that's going to be tomorrow. And
I just saw Kevin Gordon there.
yeah, I was hanging out with Kevin Gordon a little bit, and got to play the Bluebird. I hadn't been there for a zillion years, and my picture's still on the wall with Steve Earle, man.
Hey.
That's been up there since 86.
That's great. The Bluebird is hanging on. You know, it's a little tiny original sort of neighborhood structure amidst all this change.
All these tall buildings.
But thank God
Oh
the
my
Nashville
God.
TV show made Bluebird such a star. Tourists flock there to see the actual club, which
Yeah.
keeps it going for the rest of us. So it's fantastic. You know.
And how about A Thing Called Love with River Phoenix?
I was in that movie.
I was too, and I know you were.
Yeah.
I got to be in the round on that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was the hotel desk clerk in
That's
that movie.
right.
Yeah.
You were great in that.
Yeah, and you know, my song didn't make it to the soundtrack, which was one of the little hints that the music business is not quite kosher.
Yeah.
If you have a song in the movie, they do a soundtrack of the movie, and your song's not on it, huh?
Yeah. Huh.
It can happen.
Yep. Yeah.
Speaking of songs, the Troubadour,
Yeah.
that fascinates me that when you made the pilgrimage early on from San Diego to L.A., I mean, like the Bluebird, the Troubadour is mythical. You know, you have what was the penny whistle thing with Glenn Fry and J.D. Souther or somebody, the pre-Eagles thing?
Penny Whistle Band. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That was before
all those
I moved
embryonic
there,
things
but
with
yeah.
country rock and all.
All those guys were hanging out in what do you call it? Laurel Canyon.
Right.
You know, the canyon. You know, Echo in the Canyon and all that. Topanga and all that. And they were up there. Jackson Browne was writing songs, and I think he lived underneath Glenn Fry, and he was writing really cool songs that became million sellers later.
Oh, I know.
And I was just a kid playing in a bar in San Diego, called Rosie and the Screamers.
Great.
And all of a sudden, I said, I'm going to move to LA and, you know, try and hang out with real songwriters out there and try to start writing. And I never moved to the canyon, but I lived just at the bottom of it in Studio City in North Hollywood and places like that. And
Palomino Club in North Hollywood.
started hanging out there. But before that, I really just was hanging out at the Troubadour on Monday night. It was called Hoot Night. And people like Jack Tempchin, who wrote Peaceful Easy Feeling and Already Gone, were kind of turned me on to how to get in there. And so I would just go down there and play songs and sign up and then go to Dan Tana's next door and eat Italian food.
Killer.
And,
So killer.
And just split food with my friend because we couldn't afford to get a whole meal each.
Yeah.
I loved it, you know. So, the Troubadour, after I got signed to Warner Brothers Reprise in Nashville, then I got to start headlining the Troubadour. So that was
Wow.
extra cool. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's great. And of course, Warner Reprise was always, they put out those sampler records in the 70s that turned everybody onto their eclectic roster. Double albums, you know, for cheap that you could hear the Faces and Jethro Tull and GTOs and Van Morrison on one record.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't
One
even
was
know
called
about
Big
that.
Ball, and the other was called Record Show. I'm Webb Wilder. I'm here at Riverside Revival in East Nashville.
Yay.
Rosie Flores on National Public Radio Music Day. What a great day to have artists in the studio with us and to celebrate them. Craig Havighurst was on the air earlier today with Brenna McMillan, and of course Anna Lee was on with for Fresh My Memory, Andrew Leahy, of course, earlier in the day.
Great guitar player.
And I was seeing his face, but his name wasn't coming across my mental screen. So, and we are timing it with our Fall Fund Drive. And of course, that's what it takes to keep live presentations like this one, like Finally Friday Live, which we do at 3rd and Lindsley every week, wired in our monthly concert series and our annual festival, Roots on the Rivers at the historic Two Rivers Mansion, not to mention our specialty programs and all the music we bring you. It equals the music you love. To keep it playing, we're asking for donations at WMOT.org, and the old donate button there can be found under the support heading. Our membership page will make itself known to you when you click that. And we have a phone number. Lovely folks on the other end of the line, 615-898-2800. Rosie, what you going to do for us now?
I think I'll play another song I wrote. And, you know, because this is October 23rd, about 10 days from now or less. It's going to be Halloween.
Yep.
So I'm going to do this Halloween song that I wrote. It's on the new record.
Fantastic.
And I wrote this a while ago, and it's been in my little vault, my little songwriting vault for a while. And I pulled it out. I played it for the guys, and they just loved it. My band's called The Talisman, and we've been recording since 2020. And so, yeah, we did this song, but there are some people in the studio. There's a few people that might want to help me out with a little howling, because we need some howling to make this song a little more scary. It's called Dracula's Haunt. In the night, when the moon is full and everything is bright, like the power of the wind in a hurricane flight, there's no doubt about his destination now. He comes to you with fire in his eyes. He gives you life, and he gives you his surprise. Tonight, 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 Count Dracula, friend of the devil waiting for you, close your eyes. In the darkness of his house you'll see him rise. For the bite of lust he's flying in disguise. Christianity is the enemy he fears. Hide your crucifix, take that mirror out of here. Tonight, 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 tonight. Come on, Webb, howl for me. Well, if you should decide you want to be a vampire too, Transylvania is the place he sends you to. For the transformation blood will give to you, but you'll never see the sunlight in your eyes. The spooky night is the only time you'll rise. The night, the night, the night, oh, the night. Ow, ow, ow. Count Dracula, Count Dracula.
The strains of an ode to
Thank
the
you.
Transylvanian icon, Count Dracula.
Dracula.
With Rosie Flores here at Riverside Revival for WMOT Roots Radio on National Public Radio Music Day, while we conduct our Fall Fund Drive. 615-898-2800 for your donations, or WMOT.org and click the donate button.
It's a cute little button. Click it.
Yeah, and I'm not good at asking people for money, but we sure do need it. We mean it when we say we're listener powered. 60% of our budget, and I'm sure there are other folks like us out there in the wide world, comes from folks, generous people who appreciate what we do.
That is what keeps us going, keeps everybody going on public radio, and I'm a supporter myself, and it makes me feel good to know that I am.
Well, and
it's a
I'm
good
sure you've
feeling.
done, when you're traveling, radio interviews like you're doing today, live and in person, day of the
Yeah.
gig, and you're hoping people listen, and sometimes they do, and that's why their butt's in the seat at the show.
This is old school.
Old school, yeah.
I love it.
Just like that Loretta Lynn movie where they're going around,
That's
Of course, they're
right.
handing
That's
them
right,
vinyl.
Webb. That's
Giving
right.
them promo vinyl in that one.
Uh-huh.
So, you're playing in the afternoon on Christmas Eve in Austin at the Heritage Boot Place.
Oh, well, that got canceled.
Oh heck! I was going to speculate how fun that was going to be.
Yeah, well, unless they changed their mind, but the city was going to do the sidewalk kind of thing on Congress Avenue.
Okay.
And Heritage Boots says, we want to get you, Rosie. And they actually got me these amazing cowboy boots.
Turquoise, folks.
Yep, I love turquoise. My nails are normally turquoise because I have a turquoise guitar, but, I have spider webs.
Wow.
And Spider-Man on my
She
nails.
is so done.
You can't see it, but Because I'm going to Santa Fe for Dios de los Muertos, Day of the Dead.
And when is that?
November 1st.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm going on Halloween. So
Wow.
I've got my outfit picked out for the airplane and everything.
For the airplane.
Yeah.
So you're going to get off the plane.
Because I get off the plane at 8:30 at night, so I'll be ready to go trick-or-treating. Not really.
I was a MC, but I did a thing with the great Lyle Lovett one time.
Yeah.
And he stepped off the plane that morning, in a perfect suit.
Nice.
And he somehow was still in it on stage that night and not a wrinkle on it.
Oh, he's
He'd been
amazing.
in it all day. I mean, he's the real deal.
Just fine threads.
Yes, fine. Alligator
Well,
boots,
fine
baby.
threads.
Yeah.
Speaking of fine threads, guess what I got to do yesterday?
Manuel?
Yes.
Oh!
I went up to the mountain, and
Cool.
it's like a really bad habit for me.
Did you get some embroidery?
Well, we're talking about it. We're talking.
You got to
about
sort of like float alone.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got measured. We'll put it like that.
Yeah. I only got to off the rack. That's how far up the Manuel Couture tree I ever got.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like our threads, don't we?
I know it's like a drug habit.
I was going to see if I'm not wearing the belt. Kenny Vaughn gave me a belt buckle recently. I got a
he
text
did?
from him, and it was in my mailbox.
Yeah.
It was from the Wart Hotel in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It has a W on it.
The belt buckle did?
Yeah, he thought I should have it.
Oh, because it's got the W.
Exactly. But we're drifting off topic now.
Okay, let's get off clothes and back to music and NPR.
It's really cool that you're going to be at the CMA Theater at the CMHOF here in Nashville.
I'm
Country Music
so
Hall of Fame.
excited.
Yeah.
And I love Michael McCall, so
Oh, who don't?
we're going to be hanging out and playing songs and seeing some movies, some films,
Oh, cool.
some videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at that really brief video online that sort of told your story, and but it was a very brief one. It was like a 6-minute film.
Oh, you're talking about the little mini doc
Yeah.
that the NEA did. Yeah.
So, 2 albums in the works. Your solo debut was in 1987. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how many do you even keep count? How many albums will the next album be?
I think the next album's going to be 14.
Cool.
And with the jazz will be 15. I think I have that right. But then this guy came up to me in Sweden, and he had a stack of 40 CDs that he wanted me to sign. And I realized that not only did he have all my records, he had every compilation that I either sang harmony on or played lead guitar on or did a duet on. So I said, no wonder I'm known. I'm on 40 different CDs.
Wow.
And that was, a long time ago.
I thought you were going to tell me that they're all bootlegs and you were wondering about his morality. But he was just that dedicated an archivist and fan.
He was such a fan.
Wow. You going to do another song for us?
Should I?
I think you should. And
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen,
We
unless
have
you
time?
just tuned in, this is the great Rosie Flores here with me, the great Webb
right.
Wilder. I'm kidding about that last
You are
part.
great.
But I'm here. Thanks
He
for
is
saying so
so-
at Riverside Revival. This is WMOT Roots Radio. Riverside Revival is where we have our new satellite studios, and it's National Public Radio Music Day. We thought it'd be a good time to wrap that around with our fall fun drive and illustrate further to you how we incorporate great artists of integrity live and in person into the recorded music we play in our various live events. We're asking for your support at WMOT.org. All we want you to do is click that donate button. Just click that donate button. Come on. And
Do it.
or dial 615-898-2800. What you gonna play for us?
Well, I got 2 on my mind. I'm trying to think. I guess I'll play lines. All right, here we go. Black lines on my paper, red lines in my eyes. From tears that fall down one straight line, from your doorstep back to mine. Sweet words you cast and caught me. I hung on every line. Lines that leave me wounded now. Whoever thought you'd be so unkind? Lies, lies,
right. Rosie Flores here with me, Webb Wilder at Riverside Revival and the WMOT new studio digs here, WMOT Roots Radio on National Public Radio Music Day.
Well said.
I'm trying.
Doing good.
Words. Words is what you have to do when you talk. You know, you have to know about them, everything. It is not only National Public Radio Music Day, it's our fall fund drive at WMOT. We feel like that P word, public, is part of what we're all about, bringing people together. Artists, listeners.
Yeah.
You know, and the community in Nashville and in East Nashville. And we hope we've created a WMOT community. And then there are the little communities within that, like the folks that are Wired In members who attend the Wired In monthly concert series here at Riverside Revival. And then we do a weekly show at Finally Friday Live. And then we have a big old shindig once a year called Roots on the Rivers.
So much fun.
Attended and broadcast. Well, thank you.
You guys are amazing.
And so let's talk about what you're doing. Oh, so in summation of all that, that's why we're asking for donations. 615-898-2800 or go to WMOT.org and click the donate button. A lot of different levels at which you can donate. No contribution is too small. No salesman will call. Just check red, green, or natural oak. Back to our points. So you're in Nashville. We're so glad to have you here. You've been doing a lot of cool stuff. You were at the Bluebird with Linda McRae and Paul Birch. Mm-hmm. You're going to be at the Country Music Hall of Fame on Sunday.
2:30 to 4. And tomorrow I'll be at the 58 Club at Eastside Bowl.
Right.
And what else am I doing? I was really excited to come here and do this.
Well,
here
we like
on
to think
WMOT.
it's a big deal. We love having you.
This is really cool. I'm so glad I got to do this. It's special.
We love having you. And tell the folks, in case they don't know, since you have been awarded this distinction in 2024, God knows what 2025 is going to bring for you. We hope lots of good stuff.
Thank
the
you.
National Heritage Fellowship. What is a National Heritage Fellow?
Well, it's the highest honor that the U.S. government gives any kind of artist. People like B.B. King have gotten it, Wanda Jackson, but then also Manuel, who's a tailor, has gotten it. There's a tap dancer in L.A. that got it. There's a wonderful L.A. muralist that paints big Mexican murals in the barrio in L.A., and he tries to help young kids to keep them out of gangs, to teach them how to paint. There's a woman that makes, she's a Native American woman that makes beautiful quilts, and she tells the story of, her ancestors and doesn't want people to forget,
She weaves a story?
Yeah, it's more like not weaving, but
more patching together?
She's more like a patch quilt.
Yeah, but that's amazing, though.
Just beautiful. There's a woman that was from Japan that was a koto player, phenomenal woman who was, I think, 70, and I got to see her play, and it just brought tears to my eyes.
Well, you're in good company. B.B. King and Wanda Jackson, come on.
I'm in really good company. I'm so proud to have been chosen, and there were people like, the head of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Alec Whiteman, writer from Rolling Stone, Holly George Warren.
Love her. And
the head of the music department at Columbia University, who I never met, who wrote, all these people wrote letters saying, to the NEA why they thought I should be chosen. And lo and behold, I got in.
Every once in a while, something great can happen to you. Just keep a positive outlook like Rosie Flores does.
You got to stay positive.
We love Holly George Warren. Of course, back to our love of threads, she wrote the How the West Was Worn book, among others.
I have it.
It's great, too. It's great. Golly, you going to do another song for us?
I can.
We sure would love you to.
If there's time, if y'all want one, I'll go.
I'm here with Rosie Flores at Riverside Revival and WMOT Roots Radio Satellite Studio on National Public Radio Music Day. We're doing our Fall Fund Drive 898-2800 in the 615 area code for donations or WMOT.org. It's easy. Click the donate button. Rosie Flores.
It's easy and it's fun. Yeah. Wait, let's just make sure that's in tune.
We tune because we care.
Okay, so this, while I'm tuning, because we do care, I wrote this song when I was sitting on my couch during the pandemic, feeling kind of lonesome. I was all by myself for a couple of years that those couple years.
It was a weird time.
And I did a little, live stream,
Yep.
but I was thinking, how am I ever going to get a date sitting on this couch all alone for all these months? And so I think, I wish I could find me a boyfriend that could come and hang out with me. And I thought, well, maybe if I write this song, he'll come to me. And I was like, well, I'm looking for somebody, but maybe somebody's out there looking for me. So that's the title of this song, Who's Looking for Me?
Great.
I'm a little skinny-legged hillbilly, get-picking, finger-licking girl. That's me, looking for a fine-looking, sweet-talking, hot-rodding, two-stepping man. Who's looking for me in this big old world? Well, there must be someone to love little old me. If dreams come true, then I ought to start dreaming till I find me a bebopping, hugging, loving man, looking for a skinny-legged hillbilly, get-picking, finger-licking girl like me, looking for a fine-looking, sweet-talking, hot-rodding, two-stepping man who's looking for me. Yeah. I've been in love. Love's had me spinning out of control, flying over the moon. But there's been a whole lot of love you today, but I'm gone tomorrow. So I better keep moving and a grooving till I find somebody for me who wants a little skinny-legged hillbilly, get-picking, finger-licking girl like me, looking for a fine-looking, sweet-talking, hot-rodding, two-stepping man who's looking for me. And what is a San Antonio rose without a garden? I need the Texas sun to make the petals bloom. What is a twirl without a partner on a green hall dance floor? Yeah, that's swaying in his arms forevermore. So who's looking for a skinny-legged hillbilly, get-picking, finger-licking girl like me, looking for a fine-looking, sweet-talking, hot-rodding, two-stepping man who's looking for me? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rosie Flores here with us at Riverside Revival in the WMOT studio. That was great.
Thank you.
So good to have you here.
Good to be here.
Folks, thanks for listening. You know, we are doing our fall fund drive. We're asking for support. We're listener powered. That's what it takes to keep the music you love playing.
Yeah.
It is our great pleasure, especially on National Public Radio Music Day, to have artists like, not that there's anyone like Rosie Flores in the studio with us making music live, and to bring you all the variety we bring you and all the live shows we do for you. I'm very proud to be part of it. You know, I consider myself a pro-am radio announcer and more of a veteran musician, you know, sort of a trick musician. You pull a song out of a hat instead of rabbit. But I'm trying, folks, and we do need your support. And look for Rosie She's got two in the new year. Got two new albums. One with the Blue Moon Jazz Quartet, and then one that's the usual, but yet different again. Chick with a pick, Rosie Flores, singer, songwriter, guitarist, music maker thing, and the Talisman.
Yeah.
Are they on that record too? Right?
Yeah, that's who I made it with.
And the producer is a guy that worked with the Ramones.
Yeah, Ed Stacey.
I've read his name in articles.
Yeah, he's worked with a lot of people in Living Color, and he's worked with Mick Jagger, and he's worked with the Long Riders, and all kinds of cool people.
Well, just remember us little people when you hit that big time.
You think that'll ever happen?
I reckon it will.
Oh, you're sweet.
I reckon it already has. Thanks so much for listening, folks. WMOT.org. Please click the donate button or dial 615-898-2800. And remember the name, Rosie Flores.
Yes. Capital Rosie.
And now we're going to return to our usual programming here at WMOT.